All right, and we are live. Good evening, everybody. September 24th, 2019. It is time for a little bit of a late night recap on today. And hello, Marshall.
Hello,
Interesting
everybody.
day, and
Good,
apologies for the most boring church on that.
good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever the audience may be all over the world watching.
You're going to tell them that was without a doubt the most boring place. How you doing, North Shore Towing? What's going on?
We
That
have a
was
we have a lot to recollect on today.
yeah, lot to talk about
Yeah,
today, and yeah, I didn't know it would be, Tuesday night, probably on Friday, Saturday night, it'd be a little more banging down on the Old Town, but you're not. How you doing, Jen? Jen, but a lot of the merchandise is schlocky.
no,
It's all Chinese
we
made
should
now.
start our hangout and talk about the chronology of events, how
Oh,
we
okay.
started our day and how we ended our day. We
Yeah.
ended our day with Old Town, but we started our day at Black's
Okay. How
Beach.
you
So,
doing, Karina? Nice to see you,
unless you want
sweetie.
to talk about it in reverse, which
No,
but
I'm apologizing. Not a great dinner, but it was Taco Tuesday
right,
down there, so
we'll get into
you'll
that.
be
But
you'll be seeing that. Okay, we'll back up to
yeah, the chronology of how we started our day.
yeah. So nice to see you,
So,
Friction. How you doing? And we've got North Show. There's Vicky. How you doing, Vicky? What's up? Vicky says, "Oh God, huh?"
yeah, one thing I wanted to point out to all the people out there watching, in Pacific Beach area, I've seen a guy in a Chevrolet Pleasureway, a really
Nice
nice
rig.
Class B camper van. And
I
this
like this
guy,
color too.
yeah,
You
that's
know?
a very prevalent color
Yeah.
of the Pleasuraways, that tan color. But this guy parked on a private property parking lot.
He's like reverse of what we think you should do down here.
Yeah,
Double tone.
he's parked on a private property parking lot all night, and then parked on a public street. And this guy's just been hanging around in this van all day, which doesn't make sense to me. You're talking about a van that was over $100,000 brand new, and probably used. That van is $50,000, $60,000, and it doesn't make sense to me. Somebody with such a nice rig just to sit here in a parking lot on a street and just talk on the phone, and you're in the most beautiful part of one of the most beautiful parts of our country. But anyways,
Hey VW, how you doing? Love
um,
you too, Vicky. But
I've seen
yeah, I don't know. This guy will
right,
get up in the morning. He'll be in here, and I get up around 7, 8 o'clock, and he'll start up and he'll move out to the street,
yeah,
which is unusual because I haven't seen any signs saying that that there's no overnight parking, so it's weird. Now there's also a stretch van. It hangs in here, stretched.
right,
What is that? An Econoline? I don't know what it is, but
yeah.
it's strange. So
But the thing is, though, there's been a lot of nomads over the years, including a YouTube channel called Adventure Van Man that was here in the San Diego area, and um, I think these nomads have their select area spots where they go in the daytime, where they go in the nighttime. They have a routine. We're not in an area where it's routinely urban camped by these nomads. Uh,
hey, Coach.
so, but again, it's a lot of people have said a lot of things about California and Mexico that were not true. They said that Tijuana was so dangerous and people killing each other in drug cartels, and that's not the truth. They've said that you can't camp in San Diego on private or public property, and that's not true. So I'm never going to believe anything anybody on YouTube says unless I actually experience it firsthand, and then I can form my opinion and judgment upon it. But I think that that's
No.
just the reality of it. I think you need to experience things before you listen to somebody else say their opinion about something. And that even goes with people's opinions about me and Rosie on YouTube or any other YouTuber. Don't believe what other people say. Do your own research, make your own judgment, and just don't believe what other people say. Just because they say it or just because there's a video on it doesn't mean it's true. That's just
Yeah.
my opinion. Make your own decision.
Yeah, check it
you know.
out yourself.
Check
No,
it
I
out
don't
yourself.
use a flat iron or anything. It's probably got a little salt in it from the beach today. So anyway, I thought this guy was very unusual.
Right.
I mean, it was worth mentioning because he seems to do things in reverse of what, like most people. But this
Right.
must be a friendly lot. That's the only thing that I can think of. It's
Yeah,
this
I'm not
particular
sure.
location must be friendly. Let's see. A word from your that alone is why I don't like you. Simple as. Well, I try to keep up things upbeat on my channel here, but I think checking it out for yourself is always good. Like I say, this place has been a dream for Boone, absolute dream, because the weather is so good. The boondocking is easy. I've not seen one policeman around the
Make
area
around,
here.
yeah.
Yeah.
We've seen more surfer guys and skateboard guys than policemen around here.
Yeah,
So,
7-Eleven tonight.
but yeah,
Vicky. So it was an interesting start to the day today. And I think sometimes it takes a while to get going. Like to get some little something to eat in the morning and get a coffee. Then do a hangout. Didn't want to do Pacific Beach today. I'd heard a lot about Black's Beach. And Marshall agreed. Yeah, let's go check out Black's Beach. So it's up near Torrey Pines, which is you're starting to get La Jolla, Torrey Pines, Tiger Woods, right? You start to get into the real
that's the university area of
University of California, San Diego campus. You're getting
Yeah.
into really serious coin up there.
Right.
Even the condos and things like that. So it was an interesting. It wasn't the easiest place to get to. I'm just talking about driving into Torrey Pines. It was a little difficult.
right.
I think they keep the campus kind of protected for UCSD. There's a lot of buildings, big time university.
Yeah.
What did you say? It makes Northwestern look like
Yeah, small place.
small change. So
So we got to the parking lot, which was a very the parking lot for Black's Beach is not paved. It's not paved, so if you're gonna go in there, be aware. If you have a nice Class B or RV, make sure it's there's a lot of bumps and ridges, and it's just part of I guess the whole hill, right?
were you surprised how many cars were?
Yeah, I was surprised for a weekday that this place was packed. You couldn't even barely find a spot. It had a lot of people there, and I tried to figure out, are these people tourists, locals, students? I don't know. But the place felt like, well, all of San Diego feels like that. Every day it feels like it's Saturday or Friday here. Every restaurant you go to, they're all packed. There's, the only place that wasn't packed on the weekdays was the Hillcrest LGBT area. But when you come into San Diego, into this town, every restaurant you go to or beach, it feels like it's Friday and Saturday every day.
I think we're just getting ready to go down to the shoulder season of fall here.
Right.
Just passing out of the high season. So there's still a lot of people vacationing here, but I thought it was very interesting when we went to the parking lot that they also said it was an active airspace location, and I had no idea what that meant till I got down on the beach. And I'll talk about that a little bit, but I thought that was very unusual there. The parking lot, I was blown away. I'm not being really wondering how do you shower in just general. Well, you have a lot of Planet Fitnesses scattered all over. That's always a good go-to place, and I tend to go to a different location every day because it ties in with exploring the city. And also the outer way out of other small towns and things too. So there's plenty of locations to go to, and you can catch a daily shower and no problem at all. I mean, the hygiene is very, 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 very important. I think on doing that. I like to brush my teeth in the morning and at night. Have I always been able to do Planet Fitness? No, if I'm going to be on a beach day, sometimes I don't. But as long as I can, find a sink somewhere and get my toothbrush and toothpaste, then it's fine. Anyway, we could do a whole separate thing about
one
food.
thing to chime in on is, most of these people that come to San Diego as tourists, obviously we all know that they come to the beaches, and now it's those people are going to be decreasing as the wintertime comes, as the snowbird season comes. So the regular people that stay in hotels and do that kind of stuff will decrease, but then the RVers and snowbirds will increase coming here. So maybe
I've been here in mid-November,
Mm-hmm.
and I've had to wear a heavy jacket on the beach at Thanksgiving time, and it can get cold here, is defined with a high wind,
Right.
and in the 40s, 50s, and the wind chill will feel like ain't no beach day down
Wow,
there. But
okay.
that's kind of a rarity for San Diego. So
Right.
anyway, like I was saying, up at the beach area, I was stunned at how many cars were up there, because I looked over
For a weekday, yeah.
I looked over the cliff, and it didn't seem like that many people were down on the beach. But we only had a very limited sight line down there, and of course the people were all spread out.
Well,
What's up, Carlos?
And then
Holly would never trash me on the stream.
And then we get to the beach and you park and you look at this huge cliff and you look down this cliff. This cliff has to be at least 25 stories high.
Yeah, it's probably a good 200-foot cliff, 20-story building.
Yeah.
high.
This thing is high, and you look down and I looked down this thing and I said to myself, is this even safe to go down on, walk down on? And I had doubts, and I thought to myself, you know what? I don't think I'm going to go down this thing.
This was almost sheer, and they had like wooden railroad ties that had been pounded in and creating somewhat of steps with sand on it. If you made one slip, you were rolling down and probably dead by the time you hit the bottom. So it was very scary. Hello, William. Holly. Hey, Sean. Holly would never trash me.
It was quite the.
I love Holly.
This has been the most on the edge thing that I've ever did. I mean, you literally risk your life.
You do.
You literally risk your life or risk really bad injury to go down this cliff, walk down this cliff to get down to that
Carrying
black
your
beach.
stuff down.
Yeah, it's an amazing sight. It looks like you're watching a DVD movie of the Discovery Channel.
It reminded me of watching a movie about people doing the gold rush, taking the hill up Skagway. I mean, all you could see was little switchbacks with little people way up on the top. We were down at the bottom on the beach. So it was, they've done videos about how harrowing that climb is down to the beach. And to be honest, I was probably pretty worried about Marshall, because I didn't know if he would ultimately, because sometimes sometimes he gets ropes. No, I'm not, and all of a sudden that's it. It's like game over. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm not, but we managed to get on the trail and got down. It probably took a good half hour, 20 minutes or a half hour to really carefully.
Going down it was pretty scary, because you don't want to slip, you don't want to lose your footing, and but it is pretty walkable.
Yeah.
And it wasn't difficult physically. It wasn't that difficult to walk down it. I mean, you did have a lot of pressure on your knees with keep on going down like that.
Yeah, I was honestly afraid I was going to blow. I had in 1985, I got in a terrific nightclub brawl, and my right leg was turned all the way around at the knee, so my foot was facing backwards, and I had to have all types of, surgery to put that together, have my leg in an immobilizer, and it has never really felt quite the same since. And I thought to myself, man, what do you do if you blow out a knee or something on this thing? Hey, Cupcake, how you doing? Cupcake said hi to you on there.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, hello, Cupcake.
What
But
would you do if you? I mean,
yeah, you when you're going down the
they
stage,
can't carry you up. You'd have to have a
yeah,
helicopter literally bring a
yeah.
basket down and load you in on this
It's
thing. Hey, Space Ace.
when you're going down this cliff, you need to make sure you have good shoes, that you have your cell phone. Make sure that you stay hydrated. You have some water with you. You know, and then just be careful. And then you go down this cliff, and it's beautiful and scary at the same time. And
Yeah, my bar.
then you're exhausted. You get to the bottom, and
Well, let's talk a little more about this
right.
because you need to have rugged foot. You could need to have decent.
Definitely,
So
yeah.
I was really
I saw a
glad
girl.
that he had his
Yeah,
didn't have his prison sandals
oh
on
yeah,
going down.
I saw a girl with flip flops, and she almost slipped off the
Yeah.
cliff, and it's very dangerous. Yeah, it's very, very dangerous.
It's almost like it almost seems like a quarter mile. I guess when you put it out a little horizontally and with all the switchbacks and things like that, it may actually be a quarter mile.
And the cliff is very sandy, and
Yeah.
sand is very slippery, and it's just like packed sand. You can really slip and fall off.
Well, I'll tell you, Marshall, and if anybody else, if they had gone out off of that, you would definitely, it would be a death sentence if you went down. There'd be no way to stop you going down, and you would just you hit your head on a rock.
On a rock,
that would be it.
That'd be it. Yeah.
So we finally got down to the beach area, and that was pretty exhausting to finally.
Finally, yeah, you get to it, and you see this, this beautiful beach, and obviously it's a nude beach. Not everybody is nude. Some people are nude, and you sit, you go to the beach.
I was there first, and I was I moved a little bit to the right. And I was wondering, where is Marshall? And all of a sudden I had this horrific thought that I was waiting for the Coast Guard or fire rescue helicopter to come in and lower, because I didn't see it, Unbeknownst to me, he had kind of peeled off to the left when he came down the steps, and I had peeled off to the right there. And I set up in an area, and I was kind of immediately uncomfortable. I mean, I'm not going to be totally naked. I was just topless down there.
Mm-hmm.
And, as most beaches tend to be that are the nude beach variety, you're going to have like 90% single guys milling around.
Right.
Well, maybe not, maybe 80% single guys. And, there were students from the University of California, San Diego. We'll get to that. Yeah, there was some cute. I try not to be obnoxious. I did. I'm not going to wave the camera in somebody's face. I mean, I did a post wrap up at the cars when I was done. I'll put that on tomorrow. But it was a pretty chill. What was your initial impression when you got down there on the beach?
Well, you get down there on the beach, you see a good amount of people. A lot of people are walking on the beach, and you'll see the Coast Guard driving around in a pickup truck, a vehicle, doing their rounds. You'll see people walking back and forth.
Hey, Nicole.
And you'll see people set up and sitting down, getting a tan, laying down. Not many people in the water though.
No.
Not many people were in the water, which I thought that was unusual. If you're at a beach, why not go in the water? But they're just like either walking on the beach or they're just sitting there getting a tan. But it was very calm, quiet beach. The waves were much stronger than Pacific Beach. They were much higher, especially when the sun went down.
Who did, Nicole? Who got demonetized? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I need to hear the answer to this. Wait a minute. Who got demonetized? I don't know. I got demonetized in May. I'm wondering who got. What? Why would they demonetize Nicole? Are you kidding me?
Oh, really? She's been.
You're doing cooking videos, and you got to be kidding me. That's insane. That's insane. You'll straighten it out. It's got to be some kind of error. Anyway, Marsha was off probably 200 feet to the left, and I was to the right because I didn't know where he was. I thought we would be sitting together on the beach, and I kind of set up shop. And these guys like to kind of parade. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, they're like roosters going back. They just
Making
keep,
their rounds.
yeah, they make a round.
Yeah.
They'll just go a quarter mile. They'll go a eighth of a mile down the beach. They'll turn around, come back, strut in front of you, and then go up the other way. You'll see young couples going up and down.
Yeah.
Some cute people in there, but I thought the parade, and then I had the sense that they were starting to move chairs into the area where I
Yeah.
was sitting and stuff, and I finally decided I've had enough, and I went walking, and I saw Marshall was set up the beach there. So I didn't want to invade his privacy or anything, but I kind of asked him, "Is it okay?" Because I felt kind of, I felt kind of weird being down there. So he was chill. He's like, "Yeah, we set up over there," and then I noticed all the people were like, "Whoa, what's that in the sky?" They were paragliders off of that cliff,
Off
and
the
I
cliff,
thought,
yeah. Yeah.
how in the heck do you have the courage to jump
To
off
do
of
that.
one of the? Would you do that,
Oh
Marshall?
man, that. Well, actually, it would be it would be
If you could 100% ensure. Okay. Take care, Nicole. Sorry to hear about the demonetization there, sweetie. I'm sure you'll get it.
But
squared away.
the other experience at the beach was, well, like I was saying, the water was a lot cleaner as far as it didn't have a lot of seaweed and stuff of that nature. The waves were much stronger and higher than Pacific Beach, especially as the sun went down. It actually was to the point where it was dangerous. What I thought at one point I was going to get sucked into the Pacific Ocean. And it's very dangerous, this Pacific Ocean. When the water
And
comes up and
took lifeguard training when I was young.
and sucks you back in, you really got to be careful with this Pacific
I would have had to
Ocean.
go out with my big floaties and bring the King's Rescue
I've noticed
Party.
that the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, isn't as strong as the Pacific. When it comes in and comes back out, the undertow isn't as strong as the Pacific. Pacific is very strong,
Yeah,
and you got to be really careful.
undertow is strong.
The undertow is strong. You can be sucked
So I
up.
kind of worried about it. He didn't go out too far because
Yeah.
because he doesn't swim, and then you could panic. There's no lifeguards around, obviously.
Yeah.
Although there was one beach patrol vehicle that
Making so
making rounds.
as long as you stay on the edge and don't go too deep, then you'll be fine. But it is a dangerous, scary ocean. It is, and you have to be very careful.
I literally don't sink when I just can float. With the floaties, it's all good out there. And the girls were out today, but it was a very, very chill scene. And then they're asking if the king bared the jewels on.
Oh yeah, I'll let Rosie reveal that. The $64,000 question. Did the king go? Did the king go?
Let's
nude
take
at
a
the
poll.
beach?
Marshall, put a poll out there for the side.
Okay, let's take a poll. If you believe that the king exposed the almighty uncut girth today at Black's Beach, press the number 77. If you believe that the king did not go nude at Black's Beach today, press the number 88. Let's have a poll of the audience. I won't reveal it until the people vote.
Phone lines.
That's
are
what
open
they all
now.
want to know, right?
Toll-free numbers are open now. Like I say, I wouldn't go bottomless on the JK's. Like, if you don't care, press.
Everybody wants
Anyway.
to know,
The answer is yes, because most of the guys were I would say by mid-afternoon most of the people were didn't have clothes on down there at that
Most of
time.
them, yep.
Couples and people. So you almost began to feel a little out of place if you
didn't have
Yeah.
everything off. Yeah.
if you didn't have everything.
And this is the first time I've ever did that at a nude beach, and I like this beach, and it is a very dangerous climb down, and the climb up is a whole different story.
Yeah, we'll talk about the climb up, the epic climb up.
Yes, I did go nude, and it felt great. And I gotta tell you something. I look at it this way: I'd rather go to a nude beach any day over a regular beach. Why? I'll tell you why. Regular beaches, first of all, are more crowded. They cater to families.
Did you enjoy being naked at the beach?
Yes. The regular beaches cater to families, noisy kids, husband and wives. They're more crowded. And if you're at a beach, the only way to really enjoy the beach is to go naked. That's the only way that you can really enjoy the water, the air, just be free, just be one with nature. You know? And you feel the sand. You feel the chakras of the earth coming through your feet when your feet are on the sand, when you're barefoot. There's a lot of research on that. But it feels so good to be barefoot on sand. It's very comfortable to be barefoot on sand. And then when you're naked, your whole body is in unison with the planet Earth. You know, from your bare feet all the way down to your bare naked body. That's the only way to enjoy the beach. And it is a very dangerous beach to go down, and a bit dangerous
well, we'll get
climb
to the climb up. But
my opinion to people out there that are my age or older, if you don't have children,
no kids,
no wife, no family, and you really want to enjoy the beach, I highly recommend that you go to a nude beach, not to watch other nude people, but the experience of it. You can really physically enjoy it the best if you're naked. You have to be naked so you can enjoy the water, the air, and it's much more enjoyable. And in fact, if I could find nude beaches, I would go to one again and keep on going nude, because it's a better environment. It's a more relaxing environment than a family beach. I don't want to be at a family beach. I don't want to hear noisy kids. I don't want to see beach balls. I don't want to see dogs. I don't want to see skater punks and bicycle punks and all that. This beach didn't have all that. There was no bicycle punks, skater punks, you know, it was, everybody was just enjoying the beach. You were at one with nature and God. It was a great experience, and even though this was a dangerous beach to get to because of the cliff, I highly recommend a nude beach over a family beach. If you're a single person like me, I highly recommend it.
Now, I enjoy going in the water a lot more. Enjoy bobbing around and kind of rolling around the beach a little bit. I had a good time. People were nice. There was a couple was very friendly to me on the beach, and they seemed real nice. And you didn't really talk to anybody on the. Did you?
No, I didn't talk to anybody, but.
I was just at the surf edge, and they came walking by, and they were very nice. You know, you can tell some people do it regularly. You know what I mean? They don't even think twice about it. Hello, Space Ace. How are you? Did you see any gay people? You know, judging by appearances can be very deceiving at places like that.
Right.
Like I said, about 80% are men, and of those 80%, most of them are in the range of, I would say, 35 to, there's some in their 20s.
Right.
But I'd say the bulk of them, the average age was 40 to 70, 40 to 75, somewhere in there. And some of them were in very good shape. I mean, if you do that on the regular, but as far as anybody being gay, there were a couple guys, I might assume that they are, but I'm not sure, that were set up next to each other. But you can't always immediately assume that people are, that that are down there. But I think it's funny the rooster strut when the guys just go, they run that circuit up and down the styling and profiling, and that was pretty funny. No, I didn't go bottomless. I won't go bottomless on the.
Like I said, I believe that
I'm wild enough as it is.
A nude beach has
and a lot of the girls didn't go bottomless either.
A nude beach has a lot to offer to a lot of people. To a person like Rosie, everybody knows she wants to show her boobs. It's all about the boobs. And she enjoys the water.
Yep.
And
I thought the water was good, calm.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And you know, the people watching is fun. Anybody who says they don't go to a nude beach to people watch, it is fun. It's fun to people watch. There's no question about that. And just the seclusion of it, it really, you know, so it has a lot of benefits, this particular beach. I mean, I'm just comparing it to Pacific Beach.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pros about it. So, yeah, I think that if you guys haven't experienced
it's another one of life's experiences.
Yeah, it's another one of. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy. I went to a nude beach a couple times in Florida, and I didn't go nude. I was just checking it out. I wasn't there that long, but this time I felt relaxed. And my advice to people, if you've never been to a nude beach, go there. You don't have to take everything off, but then little by little you'll start feeling comfortable because everybody else has everything off, and then you'll figure out, well, if they have it off, then I should take it off. And then once you take everything off, you won't be embarrassed anymore or shy. You'll just be part of everybody else.
Yeah.
You're just part of the nude beach.
I would tend to agree. Pretty quickly.
Actually, after going to a nude beach, I think I would join a nudist colony. I think that I'm willing to become a nudist.
Were they well manicured? Would you? I guess if you're saying with the, did the carpet match the drapes? If there was carpet, blah blah blah. I didn't look that close. It was definitely a mix. I'm all laser smooth everywhere, so it ain't no issue with me. But I would tend to agree with Marshall. It's a funny thing about life. Like when I was in Las Vegas, Marshall was all shook up the next day. He's like, I can't believe you went to the Green Door and you put that up on YouTube. Well, I didn't put the Green Door inside.
Right.
We discussed the Green Door experience and what that was. It's the first time I've ever been to a swingers place.
Right.
And I was very moderated, but there comes a point in your life where you're curious about things and you want to.
Right.
You're like, okay, I'll do that. And I was topless in there, a big deal with heels and stuff like that.
Right.
But it's kind of the same thing too. Probably only about 1 or 2% of the nation will ever experience a
actually, what you did was, I thought before you were probably revealing too much about your personal life, but now actually thinking about it in retrospect, if you just review a place, you don't have to say what you personally did with anybody.
Yeah.
In any intimate way, but if you just review the place overall.
I had D to do that.
Yeah. It's like reviewing a restaurant. You can review and say what goes on there, like on just a basic, just overall level, just what you think about the place, and that's information to people as content. But you don't have to tell people what you did there. So yeah. But like I said, I encourage everybody, if you've never been to a nude beach, go.
Hey Monique, how you doing, sweetie?
And just go ahead, even if you're embarrassed, go ahead, just take all your clothes off, okay? And then little by little, you'll just be feeling at one with God, at one with the beach, at one with everybody else.
Yeah, there were people in all shapes and sizes, exactly. Tall, short, heavy side, light side, skinny side, but nobody, he's right. After about, that first, like I had no problem popping my, do it, because I wasn't going bottomless, but he's correct. After about the first 15 minutes, you don't even notice anymore about.
No,
you don't even think about it anymore because it's like you're.
And what I've noticed at the nude beaches is that the people that are nude, I can feel the spiritual aura coming from them. They embrace people to be nude, and the people that are not nude at the nude beach don't fit in. They don't fit in. There's a different negative vibe from them. I feel a very negative vibe. If you're going to go to a nude beach, you need to be nude. And, you know, it's like saying, you're going to go to a gay bathhouse and have a towel around you and not be naked. So, bottom line is that that's what I felt about people. Why do people go to a nude beach that don't want to be nude? You should be nude. That's what it's for. It's a nude beach. So, if you haven't experienced it, experience it, and don't be shy. Take everything off and just be part of it.
Yeah, there was definite. I'm not talking about him. But there was definite shrinkage to cold.
Well, there was shrinkage, but at the same time,
I'm just saying,
there was people
you couldn't
walking.
help but notice sometimes, like, what the hell happened?
There was some people. There was a couple of guys that were walking around, like you said, with a raging hard on,
Well,
right?
let's not go there. You know, I mean, on that, but
But
I don't know about raging, but I'm just saying, you know, they must have taken their sildenafil before they.
most of these people that embrace the nudist lifestyle are people in their 50s, 60s, 70s. They're older people. You rarely see younger people doing it. Now, I want to touch on this one thing.
Yeah, he did, Monique. Yep.
Fully naked. I had a friend of mine in Chicago, and he told me back in the 70s, they used to make the boys in high school swim naked in the pool.
I did in the 1970s.
And then he said the women used to have whatever their whole swim gear. And I asked him why they did that, and he mentioned something about swimming shorts. Or something that would clog up the drains. I never really understood why they did that. I don't know if Rosie knows that.
We always in high school
swum naked in
it was winter time. You did swimming. You couldn't do outside activities. And I remember the floor was the 1-inch tiles, and we would, you know, the instructor would be there telling you what you're going to do.
Right.
By the time we all got up, we all had waffle butt on our on our butts behind. I mean, who cared at that time? I mean, it was
in the 70s, right?
It was a much more innocent time back then. It was like you had more faith and confidence in people.
But like I said, a lot of people, you know, you don't have to be a courageous person or brave to go nude at a nude beach. Anybody can do it.
Yeah.
And I just highly
recommend. Would you want to or not? That's a different story. But for me,
exactly.
I'm out on the road to get the totality of life experiences and things like that. Now, do I have lines? Of course I would. I would never have an experience with a lady of the night in Mexico. I would never do that. I would party with them, you know, have some tequila and things like that. But I would never, there's just lines that I wouldn't cross. But I am a curious person. If you're a traveler like I am, it's all part of taking in the whole experience here in San Diego. So, yeah, I've saw enough nuts today to last a lifetime out there anyway. So
the rest of the experience of the new beach,
nuts.
I had a great time. And Rosie,
you actually said that was your best.
My best beach experience ever in my life. And I've been to a lot of beaches in Florida. This was my best beach experience, and I'm looking forward to seeing more nude beaches all over the country. Hopefully it won't be a dangerous, perilous like this one. There's a lot of other ones. So that's what I have to say about that.
Well, then you got to start thinking about so I was glad I moved to the area where he was in, because I didn't feel comfortable up at my side. But I was afraid he would say, I want my privacy or whatever. But everything was good. I mean, there's nothing in the world that I don't care, for me. But then I got to thinking in my head, man, I was looking up at the cliff with all the paragliders and people that were doing that, and just, you could never pay me to do that. Then I'm like, Hey, we got to climb back up this.
Oh yeah. Now, one thing I want to say though, before we get back to the climb, Rosie was sitting pretty close to the water, close to some people there by the nude beach, and I told Rosie, I said, "This is a nude beach, and I'd like to have a little bit of privacy."
Yeah.
So we went more towards away from the water and kind of away from people, and had like our privacy, because I didn't want people to hear what we're talking about. I wanted some element of privacy. Rosie wanted to be just like, right. I mean, if Rosie had the opportunity, she would sit next to somebody 5 feet away and not worry about what people are overhearing or saying. And to me,
that's cool.
I'm a private person. I'm
that.
actually a private person, and I don't want to hear people saying. But anyways, that's my recollection of that. So now we get to the climb. So I'll let Rosie.
Well, we had to
start
pack
off.
up, and that's. I want to tell you what, I had to worry because I'm pretty darn physically fit. Okay, you know, for my age, I think I didn't feel like it would be. I didn't feel like it would be undoable. You know, I would do it. It's just a climb.
Right.
But I did worry a little bit about Marshall because he's had a rather sedentary existence. And even though your physical activity's ramped up a lot recently in the last couple of weeks with the travel, you know, it's a heck of a haul. It's almost a vertical climb.
Oh,
it is literally almost a vertical climb.
Almost.
With very steep. They have railroad ties that are pounded in with some iron
It's
bars.
literally like walking up 25 flights of stairs of a 25-story building. Is what it literally is.
Yeah.
Is what it
And
literally
you got to
is.
climb it, and there's switchbacks, and I got a good video coming up tomorrow. I was like a Marine Corps instructor for Marshall. You can do it. Get up this hill, but I'll be doggone. He did it, and he wasn't far behind where I was, and I mean we were sweating bullets at the top of that thing, but the view was spectacular, and I thought if you did that every day for a month,
you would be in top.
You would be in such tip-top physical condition, you know, because that was
it's very, very rigorous.
Yeah, very rigorous and very, very demanding. Yeah, I told him at the top, I said, I'm very proud of you for having conquered that. I didn't want anything, you know, I don't want to overstate it, but I encouraged him to take breaks, which we both did coming up. Let's face it, you can go back at 3 stories, and then you got to stop a little bit and take the ocean view, and you don't want to go there if you have any kind of vertigo or any kind of issue with ear imbalance and inner ear disturbances and Meniere's disease.
Right.
I mean, if you get dizzy on that sucker, you're a goner. You are a goner. Yeah, he did. Marshall did great. I was proud of you both. Thank you. Well, he doesn't have near as he always says about me, Rosie, you're always on the go. You're like energy, you know, always on the go. So, was there any point you thought to yourself, man, my heart's going to explode? Or
well, probably climbing, it was so steep, the grade, that I would say probably,
thank you, Susie.
Let's just say every 2 or 3 flights of, you say 2 or 3 flights of stairs, it was so steep that you would have to, a lot of people taking breaks, you'd have to stop because your heart, it takes so much for your heart cardiovascularly to do that, and you have to wait for your heart rate to go down. I mean, it really was.
What does that mean, kitten cat? That's a dumb thing to say.
Very rigorous, physically rigorous people that were in shape had to take breaks and go up slowly. It was very, 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 very difficult.
It was strenuous, and I felt it, and we'll feel it tomorrow. You can tell he's ready for Betty Bye. After that adventure. No, you're not a dumb person, kitten cat, but you know, let's leave his mom out of it, okay? And you know, we're just talking about events that happened on the beach today, okay? Now, when we got to the top, I did a Marshall held the camera. I did a wrap-up review. I'm sure he'll have his own content to put up on the channel. I think you got some video too that you're going to be putting up,
I'll be putting up
there.
Yep.
Because I'm always interested to hear his take on to see how his take differs from my take. Would I do it again? Yeah, I would. I guess what makes it a nude beach is it's so inaccessible that nobody would just go down there just for the sheer heck of it. I mean, there were college students down there. There were girls coming down the steps, and they're just, can I take off my shirt now? Boom, and it's, they couldn't wait. And there was, I guess the oldest people I saw were about 75 years old that were doing that. Not too many.
I think the mystique about the Blythe's Beach is, well, it's a nice beach. The cliffs are so beautiful. But whoever went down that thing, and whoever had to go up had to work their butt off to go down and especially go back up. And that's the whole mystique of it, how hard it is to get
it's
to.
not, if you got to think, I got to go down there to look at naked bodies, man, there is a price to pay for that.
Oh,
okay?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
There is a price to pay. That'll be your first and last trip down there. But there was a certain beauty,
tranquility to it.
Yeah, there was a beauty of people. Nobody was concerned about body, and it melted away. It was weird, like Marshall said. It's almost like at first you're very self-conscious, and then you're self-conscious because you're not naked.
I felt so free and one with nature, but the only thing that made me feel that it was a police state was when I saw the Coast Guard, security guy, whatever you want to call him, making their round in the truck. Then I thought to myself,
a beach patrol
as
guy.
a beach patrol guy, but then I thought to myself, okay, now this is part of civilization. But if it wasn't for that, it literally reminded me of being on an island, because it was so hard to get to.
Yeah.
It literally reminded me of maybe if me and Rosie were to take a boat and go on an island, and then the whole island is to ourselves, and we're free, we're completely just away from society and the system. That's what it felt like. It really had that tranquil feel to it.
Was there any other way to get to it? To me, obviously,
that's a question that I had. Yeah, was
that
there
beach patrol Toyota truck came up,
right?
But it might have come up from 3 miles up, where where the cliffs go down to almost like waterline at Pacific Beach and all that. So, is it worth the hike? I'm just thinking, if the Marine Corps doesn't use that for training, they're missing a real, it'd be a good 5 a.m. up and at 'em. Let's go to Black's Beach. Take the big bus into the beach. There we go, boys. See you at the top for breakfast. I mean, that would be a heck of a...
That is a question that I had lastly about Blythe's Beach. Is there a way to get to it that's an easier descent and ascent? I don't know the answer to that. If anybody knows, let me know, because
Robin Summers, nobody thought it. There were a lot of guys there were a lot of hairy people at the beach and stuff. There was nothing unusual in the scheme of things for Elvis, for the other people that were down there. Like I say, after a while, I mean, it sounds weird to say, but you don't even really think about it after the first hour or so. And then by the last hour, you're kind of chilled out and you're relaxed, and you're really hitting stride with enjoying yourself down there. To me, would I seek out a nude beach again? Probably not. It wasn't. I wasn't looking for thrills, and I didn't find thrills on the beach down there. But what I found was a different mindset grabbed me when I was down there, and it was like there weren't the screaming kids, there weren't the car horns honking, there wasn't all the traffic.
Much more peaceful.
Yeah, much more peaceful down there.
But what did you say something about the airplanes and the sonic?
Yeah, you could hang glide, but the problem is, gentlemen, it's going back up, and I did see a guy land on the beach in his hang glider, and it's like I say, it's a heck of a ride to go back up. Now, would people boy have done it? No, they would have said no. When they install an escalator, then I'll come and.
Well, I was going to
I'll
ask you
come and do
about the
that.
sonic boom. You said something about the sonic boom and the
Yeah, there's a
airplanes.
lot of. You have the Naval Air Station on Coronado Island, and they do a lot of training of Navy pilots there. And used to be that they could achieve Mach 1 and hit a sonic boom, but now they're not. You can hear those jets when they roar.
Right,
Whoa,
right.
whoa.
Oh, yeah.
And now they're not allowed to do those sonic booms in those locations. But I'll tell you, those jets, man, I can understand why people scramble on the ground when they hear that noise coming, because you can't immediately identify it's moving so fast. Yeah, I was scared. People with this. No, I didn't. No, I don't see anything. Like it was one amongst many people down there on the beach, as was I.
The majority of people there, were nude, and,
Yeah.
and everybody was just enjoying the experience. And I thought it was a little bit odd when the Coast Guard were making their rounds on the beach. I mean, you do need a Coast Guard or
Well,
whatever.
you do need a San Diego beach.
But
patrol.
I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is some sort of a law enforcement officer, security with the state, and they're making a round, and I'm standing here naked at a beach, and I thought to
No,
myself,
Gothic, I haven't.
the first thing I thought to myself is this really legal? Because in reality, in real life, right, we can't be nude in the
Right.
public, right? So it kind of
Actually, I could be topless. Any woman in California could be topless anytime they want to. Do they? No.
Oh,
Okay. I mean, that's like, and a lot of states are the same
Right.
way. I mean, you go up to San Francisco for parades, and the women whip off their tops, and they're marching proudly down the streets and things. So.
Right.
It's just a different kind of environment, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
Nude beaches are rare.
it took a time for me for it to sink in. Here I am standing by the beach, and this this patrol Coast Guard guy is making his rounds, and I'm thinking to myself, really, I'm like, hey, is this really real? and
What do you
it
think
is.
the guy was coming to bust us over there? Or
Well, yeah, you get that feeling. Think about it right now. If you take off your clothes and you're nude, walking to Denny's, what's going to happen? Somebody's going to call the cops, or you're going to get arrested, right?
Yeah.
We're not used to this in society. The nudist and mainstream. It's not
Right.
mainstream, So, but I'm surprised Rosie is saying that she wouldn't go to another nude beach. You want to say
Well,
why you wouldn't go? Why wouldn't you? Why is it that you wouldn't go to another nude beach?
I guess I shouldn't say I wouldn't go to another one if it was if it was in
Do you
Europe
prefer
or
a
something.
beach that's not nude?
Yeah, I mean,
Why? Why do you
know,
prefer one that's
I
not
think
nude?
because in my opinion, a little coverage goes a long way to I mean, to me, there's really nothing like really sexy about full-on nudity. I'll just put it out there, okay? The
Right.
the please is in the tease, okay?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to look at that, but I'm just saying I know what bodies look like, and would I go out of my way to do that? If it was Pacific Beach versus, climbing negotiating that hell's climb up that cliff again. I would take
Well,
Pacific Beach every day of the week.
in a way, as far as like you say, having a little bit of mystery and mystique.
That's it. I saw
for
too many
nudity.
beach balls today. That's
Yeah.
right, Cupcake.
I kind of see where you're coming from. Where there's a lot of women that look sexy in lingerie,
Yeah.
and then when you just strip naked, the mystery's gone. There's no.
Yeah, so if you're going down there to get like sexified, or if you go down there and think
No, it's not that kind of.
this is going to
experience.
be a place that you can get off, it ain't that kind of
No,
place,
no,
okay?
no.
And I think most guys realize that, but there are some guys that are kind of preening like roosters on the beach and some other things. Some guys are in excellent shape and everything, but nobody really notices after a while.
No.
But,
Everybody is just
yeah.
the same. Everybody is just equal. When you're nude
Yeah.
at the beach, you're just nude at the beach. There is no, the.
I mean, I never was like,
In other words, if there's a woman that's nude at the beach, or
I never saw anything that was real.
well, no, what I'm saying is everybody has this thing to them. If a woman is nude on a beach or a guy is nude on a beach, it
I
doesn't
thought
matter.
I was due, you know.
It doesn't matter how good looking or young they are. Everybody's just nude at the beach. It's no big deal.
Me too, Robin Summers. I like a little.
It's not like
something to
people
that.
are going to flock to you and want to touch you or do something
No,
with
they
you.
don't do that.
No,
It's
no,
very
no.
respectful. It's probably even more respectful than a regular beach because people are more aware of. Elvis talks about personal space.
Right.
And I noticed down there, like if I'm on Pacific Beach, sometimes people will just come up and
Cram up.
plant it right next to you.
No, over there they're
know?
more. They keep their distance.
Yeah.
Right.
And
So-
like a little something, yeah. So, you know, I thought that was kind of interesting that people were polite. Oops, I fell behind on the.
But I felt great there, and just a son of the Pacific.
Yeah,
you
people
know,
at regular beach never leave you alone. That's exactly right. I
yeah,
mean,
I would highly, in my opinion, I would have to say that I disagree with Rosie 100%. That there is no advantage of a regular beach that is not nude compared to a nude beach. Absolutely no advantage. It's more crammed. It's more packed. You hear noisy kids. A lot of punk kids, like a Pacific Beach. Not only do you have the noisy kids at the beach, you've got the punk skater boys, which are annoying. You've got the people riding their bike all over the place on where people walk, and you almost get run over with a bicycle. Then you got these people with their annoying dogs. I don't want to see all that. It's annoying. I didn't have a good time at all at Pacific Beach, and I that's just my opinion. There's no advantage for me personally from a regular mainstream beach. And plus, yeah, that's just how I see it. You know, that's just
no,
my
I mean
opinion.
for me, I prefer like a Pacific Beach because it's a lively scene. You hang around younger people, it tends to keep you younger in life and keeps you fresh, I think.
But
But I can see what Marsha was saying, the peace and quiet, and there's no beach balls or frisbees hitting you in the head down
Right.
there on the beach. There's, you know, you're not hearing, you know, let's face it, people drink on the beach, and you'll
Right.
have brawls on the beach and all that kind of stuff. So
Right.
this was a pretty laid back.
and then when you hear a lot of people who, when you're at a beach, you're really not supposed to talk. You just sit there and relax and listen to the sea waves and the sea breeze. Just take in the environment. You know, when you go to these other beaches, it's noisy. People are talking and they got radios and all that, and it ruins the whole experience of the beach. I don't believe that's what a beach should be like. This felt like I was on an island.
Yeah,
Like literally, I was on an island.
There's something to what Marshall's.
Yeah.
There is
A
something to
tranquility.
that.
There's a tranquility and peace. The atmosphere of a nude beach that a regular beach doesn't have. That's just my opinion. So
There's definitely something to that. I mean,
Right.
I can agree with that.
in other words,
It was different. Like I've never been to a beach like that in my.
I was so
life.
comfortable there, I could fall asleep in a heartbeat. I'd never be able to fall asleep at Pacific Beach or any other mainstream beach. That's just my opinion. So
Yeah, people read books on the beach.
But-
I find that too. There are people. There are people.
who
There
read
were
books? Yeah, there are people reading
yeah.
their e-readers, e-books.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw them do that. Yeah, people go there to read books. Yeah.
And I think that there were some guys that were there that hoping to pick up other guys. I think that's just a reality of it. Everything was in a discreet and tasteful
But
way.
if
know?
you think you're gonna go to a nude beach and you think you're gonna
Find some kind of thrill or something.
you think you can go masturbate at a nude beach, you'll get arrested.
Yeah.
You can't do that. If you think you're gonna go to the nude beach and mess around with somebody else, that ain't gonna happen. And if you think somebody at a nude beach is gonna come up and try to grab you or whatever, that doesn't happen. It's all baloney. People are just going there and enjoying it,
well, let me ask you this then, Marshall. If you had an opportunity to join a nudist colony, would you join a nudist colony?
in a heartbeat.
Really?
In a heartbeat. And actually,
So
after
you think living the everyday of the
yep.
dining together and
Yep, that's more natural. It's the way God meant us to be. These clothes are
Night
not natural.
sitting.
They're not natural to our body. I just think, yeah, after experiencing the nude beach, I would join a nudist colony. Yeah, I would join. I believe that's the way everybody should be nude. Everybody should be nude. That's the way God meant us to be, is nude.
keeps it nude, people. That's
Yep,
it.
I'm
Good
going to
night,
be
JK.
joining. I will join a nudist colony.
Interesting.
Yep, I will embrace the nudist lifestyle because that's what more natural. I feel more comfortable. I sleep nude. Who wants to sleep with underwear or pajama? I sleep nude. It's more comfortable to sleep nude. It's more comfortable
Jessica.
to just do things nude. It is.
Well, I usually will sleep with a tank top and panties on.
No,
I sleep at,
yeah.
you know, just in case I have the San Diego Police Department. Come out.
So my advice to
Diego
everybody:
Police.
sleep nude. Go to a nude
Well, that's
beach,
interesting that
join a nudist
you would
club.
think about joining a nudist
Yes,
colony.
in a
and
heartbeat,
you would,
yes.
and you would enjoy that.
In fact, I believe that I belong in a nudist colony. I wish there was a nudist RV resort, RV park, or
I'm sure there is
Yeah.
somewhere in this great
I
country.
think the next thing that we need to do is probably just go to a nudist resort or colony. Yeah,
There
that
you
would be
go.
the next thing.
Maybe
You know,
somebody can look it up. We'll be
that and
nudist colony.
if you combine the nudist community with the swinger community, that's the best way to live life, in my opinion.
That to me is when stuff gets complicated.
Well, that's when it gets more entertaining.
But you start to lose the aspects of that tranquility of the.
It starts to get
You start to have gossip and people talking, and then people get jealous about it. Then I can envision like problems with that. You know.
Well, a lot of
It's
people
like do it in the privacy of your own.
There's a lot of people in the swinger community that embrace transgendered people. A lot of times Rosie can get free into a swinger event and I can't. I would have to pay $40-50. So women and transsexuals, they get into all these events for free because they want more women and transsexuals there
of course.
than
They want to
guys.
even
Exactly.
off because they don't.
Otherwise, it'd be a sausage fest. But
Yeah.
but Rosie needs to embrace, the nudist lifestyle. She needs to embrace the swinger lifestyle.
I'm going to work on that,
Yeah.
Marshall. But I'm saying,
Because the bottom line is this: we're not sitting at home watching Netflix like you guys, or watching Roku.
Glory.
Drury, and we're not.
Mr. X.
We're not sitting at home there watching
for
the
the world to crumble.
We're out here living our lives, and we're sharing it with you guys, and we're sharing it the best. And come out here and join us. Come out here and join us.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's interesting. I enjoy hearing your feedback on your thoughts on that.
That's my thoughts,
process.
basically. I think it was a very.
Mine is that hike. You'd probably be out there every day if you could do.
If it wasn't for that physical hike, I would probably be at that beach every day. But that is a very, very involved.
Yeah, my video
intense...
tomorrow is going to be Elvis joins the Marine Corps. When you see him take this cliff, man, this is classic. This is classic.
And I proved
Come on, Marine, you can do it, huh?
I proved to the trolls that I can walk 4 or 5 miles at Rosie.
Yeah.
I proved to the trolls that I can go down and go up a cliff that's almost a half mile high.
Yeah.
And
you did.
And now the trolls have really nothing to talk about, but
I was honestly proud that you made that climb, and only about a minute or two behind me.
Well, now we can get on, and we've already covered the beach, which was interesting.
Right.
I think we get on now to the last part of our day today, which was Old Town San Diego. Okay. I'm going to let Rosie start.
Okay, it was boring. The food sucked. Okay, the end of story. Okay, another bad Rosie idea.
We walked into Old Town San Diego, and I just want to say the highlights of it. And it's a very nice.
But it was Taco Tuesday. All right.
It was Taco Tuesday. So we walked into this place, and they have all these shops and souvenirs, tourist attraction, tourist trap,
Hey,
and all these big, mega. Mexican Americanized restaurant, these fake Mexican restaurants, and they got this whole theme of they're all making the tortillas and all that baloney. And then we walk in and we get a few tacos and we get a beer and we sit there and there's pretty much no flavor to the food. They got these guys mariachis and it's cleaner than Tijuana. It's safer than Tijuana. But the food was garbage, and there was really no authentic feel that you were like a Mexican feel. You could just feel you're still in an American city. And It was a tourist trap, and it was. This place has got 4,900 reviews. Coyote Cafe, I believe, is what it was.
Cafe Coyote.
It was the most fake Mexican food and experience I've ever had in my life, and everything about that place is fake. Old Town San Diego, everything is fake about that place, and it was the most boring place that I've ever been to in San Diego. Lastly, I want to say this, just in a nutshell. There were some Assyrian women, probably in their 30s, good-looking women, and they were speaking Assyrian. They were walking down the street, like 4 or 5 of them in a group, and I said to them, Shlamalochon, which in Assyrian, Shlamalochon means...
I'm like, what happened? Did he get hit?
Like hello.
Slabba-da-boo-boo-boo-boo.
It's like hello to a group of people. And they looked back at me and they're like, they started saying marhaba. Well, marhaba means hello in Arabic. So in Assyrian is shlamaluch. And they're like, so I don't know if they thought I was an Arabic guy, because they said marhaba back to me, which is hi in Arabic. I said shlamaluch, which is hi in Assyrian. So I wasn't sure if they thought I was an Arabic guy impersonating an Assyrian, or maybe I was just a Mexican or Italian guy or Greek guy.
Was it a love connection?
Right, and then I yelled back at him. I'm like, I'm Assyrian. I'm Assyrian, you dumbasses. And then they just walked past and just ignored me. And that was even more sour ending to the already boring night and crappy food that we had. And again, I'm glad that we did it. And I'm glad that we saw it.
My take was the food wasn't bad at all. The shrimp taco was out of this world.
The fish taco.
The steak could have had more flavor to it. The we've been kind of spoiled by. Marshall never went out of his way to eat Mexican food in Chicago. Okay, so then he went to Mexico, Los Algodones, the street tacos, and into Tijuana, and the food was great. At the restaurant in Tijuana, the sampler plate was. That
incredible.
Steak that they threw down on that, the flank steak and stuff was unbelievable.
That was some serious steak. Yep.
But it was Taco Tuesday, and for $3.50 a taco, once again the budget, 3 tacos and a beer, I was still at $15 for dinner, which was okay. It filled me up.
The food that we had in Tijuana, that was probably about $12 a plate. It would be over $30 in the United States. That kind of plate would be over 30 with that size easily.
Yeah.
So
I would agree. Now, as far as being boring, it's a small area, Old Town San Diego, but I just think it's one of those things you can cross. Yeah, I've been there, done that in San Diego.
Right.
Some of the places I like to watch the ladies making the tortillas and rolling them out and putting them on the grill, and the other shop was making tortillas like crazy.
The only good thing about the place was actually the salsa. I
like the 2 guys playing.
And Rosie finally had a Mexican beer, Negra Modelo.
Oh man, that was good.
That was good.
Modelo Negra. That was the.
They have Modelo lager too.
That was
delicious.
Even better. That Modelo dark beer was unbelievable.
Oh, it was smooth.
I never knew Mexico produced a dark beer, but that was really good. So that was a good deal. That was a good price on that too. So it was right on the budget today. It was Taco Tuesday, so I'm glad I didn't need refried beans. I didn't need Spanish rice. I didn't miss that.
One thing I want to mention to you about Modelo beer, if you like the dark, you're going to even like the Modelo Especial, the lager, even better. It's really good. It's good. Another top. Right. I thought I used to like Modelo the best until I had Dos Equis, but then Modelo's got his own flavor. It's got a very, very interesting flavor. So.
Karina, do do la di la di di la di la da la di do 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 Just going down the street. This is the most boring stream I've ever been on. So I mean, it did crack me up.
We have right now Wednesday, or is it, Tuesday? We got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Let's look ahead a little bit.
3 more days of San Diego content, and then Saturday we'll be going back to Yuma. We'll be taking both vans, and I hopefully I'm really looking forward to checking out Mexicali for a little bit. spending some time there before I get back into Algodones and do all the dental work, which I'm going to be really miserable, I know.
I think we'll hit our next border town in Mexicali, which will be interesting. And I think basically we will have Tecate on one side and Mexicali on the other.
Right.
I can't think of any other border towns that we would have missed in California by that point.
Well, I don't know if we'll hit Tecate.
Well, Tecate's on the American side.
Is it on the American side?
And then Mexicali's on the south side of it. So.
Right.
I mean, that's. I mean, I could be wrong, but I thought so.
Mexicali is my priority town. Tecate is a much smaller town. I don't know that much about it, but I'm really looking forward to looking at Mexicali. But
the
tomorrow,
allergies are bothering him too. Dan.
Yeah, they are. I'm getting stuffed up.
That's the way I am.
But tomorrow we're going to do Imperial Beach, and we might do some better Mexican place. This place that Rosie recommended was
we just alternated. Look, it's like a visual. It's a feast for the eyes to see this place.
It's the atmosphere.
It's Mexican dining on an epic scale.
Right.
But tomorrow's another day, and that's fine.
I don't consider this Mexican dining at all. This is Mexican
How you doing, Monique?
Americanized Mexican dining that's geared towards tourists. It's nothing like what you would have in
I just think you should see it, and then you're done. You've done it.
For those of you who like Mexican food, there's nothing in the United States that can compare
tomorrow,
to Mexico.
I think Monique will be Imperial Beach, which is the
and then
way down south.
Right.
And then Thursday
is going to be the real big day. We're going to go into Tijuana late at night. Rosie's not going to leave at midnight like she did last time. We're going to go in probably 7, 8 o'clock at night, and we're going to be there probably at 4 in the morning, and we're going to see the real Tijuana. And believe me, you know the old saying, Rosie's going to work her butt and mouth and TJ, baby.
That's it.
I can't wait for that.
That's fine. That's fine.
And then Saturday, we'll be heading out and hopefully hitting Mexicali. And then chilling out probably in Mexicali Saturday, Sunday leaving to go to Yuma, and getting there Sunday, and then going into the
docking
dentist
in Yuma, and then over the border
Monday.
And then he's probably going to be in rough shape when he comes out.
Oh yeah. So we might spend part of the day in Mexicali on Sunday. I guess we'll probably overnight and.
Yeah.
Maybe they're Mexicali.
So I'm looking forward to it. More Mexican border towns, more content, hopefully more interesting sites. Are you surprised how different, like each one of these places has a little bit of a different
feel to it?
Some are a lot of different characters.
Oh yeah. Each one of these places.
Like I didn't think San Luis was very like a real friendly, outgoing. Well, of course we saw a smaller part of it, but you know,
every one of them has a different sort of feel to it. Yeah, every one of them has a different.
Yeah, I know, Laura. Back to the desert again. But the good news is, the high will be 90 instead of 108, and the lows will be the 60s. And
we might not need air conditioning in the nighttime. We might not. It might be.
Now, people pay big money to be down there, in the off season. So finally,
and
I might catch a break.
One last thing that I was talking to Rosie about, I want to buy a measuring tape because we want to start getting stuff in our mind about the van build, start measuring stuff inside of the Lisa Marie outside.
That's what I say, Monique.
To get an idea of what our build is going to be like. So that's what's coming up. And
I gotta know the thing inside and out, and I gotta
the dimensions,
know critical things.
Yeah, on a van build, the most important thing about a van build is the measurements, everything. And when we made the box for the generator, and Rosie did a great job on it, she engineered and designed it so good. But the measurements are key. The measurements are very important when doing a van build, and that's why we need to kind of get in our mind what do we have to work with and what are we going to do?
Define what's, number one, define what's most important to you. What is, for livability, what is the most important thing that's going to increase the quality of life?
It's the bed.
Okay, same as me.
The number one thing.
It's the bed. If I can sleep well and have, you're almost jelly of my size of this bed back here. But yeah, I agree. If you can sleep well,
if we can engineer a bed at least 6'3" long, which is 75 inches long, that will fit a full or twin size
Space
mattress. That will greatly increase my comfort. It'll open up the van. I'll have a lot of storage underneath it, and yeah, I'm just so excited about the van build. I'm so excited
you
about
need
it.
to draw a plan out, Bob Villa. That's the way.
And
Actually, I put things in I build to what's in my mind when and then Marshall sees what's evolved.
well,
I didn't think you were.
Rosie's idea about the generator box and how she designed it, especially with lifting it up with the hasps, it was genius. It was a great
Well,
design.
I didn't want anybody to think that I wanted them to just think it was just a storage box on the back. And
Rosie is a very creative person when it comes to designing things, fixing things in her
Good night,
house.
Vicky. Love you. I don't care about RV Davey. He's not on my radar screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just imagine to myself, heck, if Rosie could do such a job on a generator box like that, what could she do inside of a van? And with a bed, with a dinette, with a kitchen, with a floor, it's exciting, and I just think that it's going to be great. It's going to greatly improve my life.
And I don't think it's going to take a ton of money. I mean, the money's in the details always. I mean, if you want something that's all tricked out with a light show and pulsating in time with the music and karaoke lounge in there and all that, but I think Marshall's kind of reaching an age where functionality as opposed to sizzle and you steak and said that it's I sense you don't really care about lights and
no, I just want functionality and so yeah. But anyways, I think we got about 178 people watching. So I think
she's doing good, Gothic. I talked to Missy Jenn this morning. She's doing good.
So what else is on your mind, Rosie? I think I've covered
Santa
everything.
Rosa is under a fire watch.
Oh,
Again,
it is?
We got the super dry weather, high winds, and high temperatures.
Any fires yet?
I don't know. PG&E is going to be turning the power off as a precautionary measure because that's what sparked the last fire, was a down power line because of a tree limb blew down. So they want to stop that from happening again. So anyway, I'd pimp out the machine, but it's all a matter of budget, right? It's all how much money you bring to the table. Like I say, I like things that are solid. Actually, but Lisa Marie will probably lose weight when this build is over. When it's all said and done. Jackknife sofa is a brute. That is a very, very heavy piece of equipment.
Yep. And
that's going to free up a lot of space because honestly, I don't think he cares about having that. As far as what gets put in there, it's I don't know. There's a lot of things to toss around. You just can't take a piece of wood and just start messing with it. You have to have an idea in your head. So you got to prioritize what's the most important thing and you want to accomplish. You want a better bed for sleeping. Okay, that's number one. Then number two, you want a better kitchen, a kitchen area and a place to sit down. Okay, so you can have that type of thing. What red flag warnings means there's a high risk of high fire danger. Remember, we don't get rain for 8 months of the year. So by the time October comes, everything's tinder dry. One cigarette, one down power line, and we have the disaster like happened in 2017 where we lose 6,000 homes in 6 hours, burned to the ground. It was terrible destruction. First time in history a wildfire got loose into a major
city. Rosie,
city.
do you have to have special fire insurance for your house that covers a fire?
Not down in my area because it's not on the hills.
Okay,
but they won't even write insurance for the hills anymore.
Wow.
Because this happened 2 times, 1964 and 2017. So same footprint, same pattern, coming over the hill from Napa County into Sonoma County.
Wow.
Driven by hurricane force winds. That fire was moving the length of a football field about every minute or so.
Wow.
It's been raining all summer here. Half my tank canceled, so right to the side of his head. Anyway, I'm going to go and we're going to wrap it up. It was a very interesting day. Another one of life experiences today. To go down for the first in my life to nude beach and come away with a feeling of respect for the people that go down there and what they're trying to achieve. A little touristy thing tonight. Okay, it wasn't the best thing in the world, but it wasn't the absolute worst thing in the world too. It's different sights, different views. I enjoyed the food myself. Was it stellar? No, it wasn't stellar. Was it functionally good? Yes, it was. It was good enough, and it was cheap. You know,
Right.
I'm all about budget eating and everything like that. So anyway, I have some video coming up tomorrow. Elvis's Marine Corps training on the cliff. You'll be able to see that, and then I do a wrap-up vid on my thoughts on what I observed on the.
Yeah, I just want to say lastly,
beach.
for me, I still have some videos from Tijuana that I
Yeah,
haven't put
me
up
too.
yet. I've got to put those up. I've got content of today of Black's Beach and to put up also.
RV
And
Davey doesn't have a wrench in Elvis Travels.
no, he doesn't
Stop
have a wrench.
lying.
No, he doesn't have a wrench.
See you later. See you later, Jerry. Bam.
He doesn't
Okay.
have a wrench, but I haven't
Thank you.
blocked him because he never did anything
Yeah.
against
Don't
me. But
come
he
in
doesn't
here.
have a
Don't
wrench.
come in here and spread BS. Okay.
But another thing I just want to say for the people that are watching, if you guys haven't subscribed to Elvis Travels yet, please subscribe to my channel, Elvis Travels. Hit my bell notifications so you can get all my notifications when I upload videos. I'd appreciate that if you could, you know.
Yeah. So more content ahead, and more good times to come. Things are going to pick up speed again. This has almost been like a vacation in the midst of
Right.
of the deserts of Arizona and Mexico. But honestly, am I looking forward to Mexicali? At this time, I am. Before, I was like, oh man. Now I've had like, Tijuana. Am I looking forward to going back to Tijuana? Yeah. I want to try to get a lot of sleep that day. I don't want to wake up early on that Thursday. It's going to be a long night.
Right.
Once again, I'll press on Marshall. It's your responsibility to make sure that nothing happens to me in Tijuana. You start pushing the envelope 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4 a.m. Bad stuff happens in the world between 3 and 4 a.m. in the morning, okay? Just be aware of that. So, But I think everything will be okay, like as long as you're taking a taxi out of there. But what I don't want to do is at the dark of the night have to walk on foot from one location out of a well-lit, safe area. Any final words tonight, Marshall, on your experience
Final
today?
words. I just I'm looking forward to really taking a second trip to Tijuana. I think this trip around to Tijuana is going to be much more exciting than our first one. I'm looking forward to getting to Mexicali and checking that out, and I'm looking forward to. Maybe Rosie can have
Thank
a
you, Nate.
conversation with my new friend that I met that was a nomad.
Yeah, that's fine.
A nomad who lived in her Class A
Love
motorhome in
you,
Mexico
Monique.
for 10 years. And I hope this lady can give Rosie some
That's
pertinent,
fine.
important information about Mexico so that maybe Rosie in the future can check out some parts of Mexico that she hasn't, like
I
parts of the
wouldn't go
Baja
by
Sea.
myself.
Right.
I can't do that, First thing I wanted to ask her is how long ago did that happen?
Right.
Did you go? I mean, was it recently or was it 10 years ago? Because, I don't. Thank you, Monique. I've been sleeping great in this, I love this bed in the back. I just lay back and kaboom, I'm down, and I sleep better here than I do at home, believe it or not. Okay? And then Missy Jenn's not giving me a stunner in the back because I'm tossing and turning all night long.
Right.
Anyway, love you guys. We'll see you in the morning tomorrow. Imperial Beach. Can't wait to see what that difference in that place is and do a little chooching around there. Yeah, the hang gliders were crazy. You need to have and they're not even that. It's just a parasail, man. There's no rigidity to it all. I mean, you need to have a head check to go off a cliff like that with something like that. Man, oh man, oh man. It was the beach of balls on the cliff and down
Literally
the beach.
balls.
Literally,
You have
balls
to have
up
balls.
top and balls on the beach down there.
Yep.
balls and boobs and nips, the whole.
Whoever goes to
shebang.
that beach has to have some big, literally big
Oh,
balls.
I'm glad you like the Instagram. I try to be very careful. Please subscribe to my Instagram because I don't use it as social media. I might put up 2 or 3 pictures a week, and they're ones that I catch and try to frame up and put a little bit of something into them. So I think it's some of my best photography over the last 2 years. Not a ton of it, but pretty good stuff. So check it out, rosie.o'kelly on Instagram. I don't do too much on Twitter, Rosie O'Kelly 1 on there. I don't do too much on Twitter's just it's too hard to keep up with the flow of stuff on Twitter. So check it out. If you're not subscribed to the Rosie McNamara channel, check that out too, and also the Rosie Murphy channel. Okay. Final
words. Yeah. Do you have any update on D-Dubs?
D-Dub, last I heard he was heading into Albuquerque and starting a live stream tonight, so I will get caught up. D-Dub, turn your comments on.
Yeah, can you please turn your comments on so we can comment?
I cannot catch you live, okay?
Right.
So how can I make a comment? Turn your comments on, okay? You know, we're chooching buddies out there. All right, everybody, thank you so much. Love having you guys on the chat. Love keeping it positive. More stuff tomorrow. Like I said, Elvis has content coming up.
Yep.
And I think it'll be interesting. I always enjoy hearing his take on stuff. And you'll see his raw restaurant review.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Woo!
As always, from an undisclosed location in the land of
You added
Mr.
a little tingle
Vlogger.
in there. Yeah, in the land of Vlogger Puppet over here.
Yep.
All right, guys. Thanks for being along. Have a great night.